So I'm going to read this. It's not for sensitive ears, so I want to tell anyone watching, this could trigger you. Almost everything I'm going to read today would trigger you. This is in Encinitas. This is in schools all over the country, but I wanted to use one specific to where you live. So here we go. Last night I rented a movie called Inside Lydia's Ass, and while on too halcyon and in fact sipping a Diet Pepsi, I watched as Lydia, a totally tanned, beached blonde hard body with a perfect ass and great full tits, while on all fours gave head to this guy with a huge cock, while another gorgeous blonde, little hard body with a perfectly trimmed blonde pussy knelt behind Lydia, and after eating her ass out and sucking on her cunt, started to push a long greased silver vibrator into Lydia. And I'm just going to stop there. It
into
continues.
Lydia's ass and fuck her with it while it's continuing to eat her put. And this book is in the school library.
Yes, purchased with taxpayer dollars.
So kid from K to 12 can go to the school library, take this book and read it.
Yes, and they are. And depending on, I mean, this one right now is at, I mean, it's all over the country in different school districts, but this is at Encinitas High School. One copy found. And yeah, and then these books become the books that everyone's like, yeah, we're going to go check that out. Yeah, that's the, and they continuously get checked out. So yes. Yeah, now, that is, I would say that is one of the worst of the worst, but that's bad. And there's stuff that is just as bad.
I wouldn't say that this book is bad. This book is just not for children.
Correct.
If you're an 18-year-old, you can read this book, right? But
yes,
it's not just meant for children.
Thank you. I want to make that distinction because several of these books that are in schools are books that adults are reading. One example would be The Glass Castle. And I remember when I was doing some research and my daughter-in-law said, "Oh, I read that book." And I said, "In high school?" She goes, "No, I was 33."
Yeah.
She goes, and she comes from a traumatic background and it has some traumatic stuff in it, and she knew what she was doing in reading it. So she wasn't a minor having her mind assaulted and raped by reading a book that sounds innocent, The Glass Castle, but is very, very graphic.
So this is
in high schools all over the country.
Newport Mesa. So Newport Beach and I want to say Costa Mesa are the reddest areas of Southern California. That's why I asked you to look into this area. So and you've got 99 books in that area in the libraries.
So, well, in that, no. Well, let me see. We have in the whole area. Oh no, that's just in that.
Is just in one high school?
Yes, there's actually 33 schools. We haven't searched every single school, but there's 323 pornographic books.
So currently. You've got only 99 books in one high school library?
Yes.
99?
Yes.
Give me a few other examples. How bad are those books?
Oh, good. Let's see. Let's go to something I can pronounce. Costa Mesa High School. And you can follow along with me. One thing about takebacktheclassroom.com, you can go to the website, go to your state, go to your school district, and look up the specific books that are in that specific school. So let's see. You can look down, you can see them all as you. Let's see, how many do we have in this school? We have 56 books at Costa Mesa High School.
Yes.
So you'll see that there's a ton of Ellen Hopkins in there, and there's a ton of Sarah J. Maas. Those are everywhere.
Who are those authors?
Those authors are very common. You see these books everywhere. A lot of adult women are reading them. I do not know of any school district that does not have one, if not the whole series. And then the other one is Sarah J. Maas, and this is Ellen Hopkins, and this is all over. And I'll read from this one. I don't know if Identical's in that, it's in that district, but I don't know if it's in that school. I'd have to look that one up. But let me read. This is, if you come from trauma, sexual abuse, incest, warning, because this is going to rip a Band-Aid off. And that's what really concerns me, is that we have our minor girls that have been through sexual trauma reading a book, and all of a sudden it's opening a wound and the parents have no idea. This is on page 150, but it's throughout the book. Mom was gone. Can't exactly remember why, only that we didn't expect her to come home until very late. It was dark in our room. These are two identical twins. Velvety black. Someone had closed the curtain. Kaylee was scared. I tried to tell her not to worry, but just then, Daddy burst through the door. I closed my eyes and made myself no more than a shadow. Something about him was different. I didn't want that something to find me. I cracked my eyes just a slit as he sat on Kaylee's bed, pulled her into his lap. He smelled of brute and wild turkey, his peculiar potpourri. And now this is the dad talking to Kaylee while the sister is watching. I love you so much, my little flower. Daddy needs something from my girl, my sweet rose. Will you give it to me? I wanted to be his little flower. Side note, when you come from any sort of sexual abuse, incest, especially with the family member, especially with these young girls, you're confused over why pick her over me. I mean, because your vision of all of this stuff, your understanding is very different. So it's very normal that she's wondering, what's Daddy doing? I mean, she knows it's a little off, but to wonder, I want you to love me that way, not really understanding what that way is. So I wanted to be his little flower. Would have given my daddy anything. What did he want from Kaylee? She laid her head on his chest. What? I want you to see something that proves how much I love you. This is only for you, Kaylee girl. He lifted her gently, sat her down on the bed beside him. Then he opened the snaps on the fly of his flannel pajamas. It stood up, stiff. See how much Daddy loves you? Show me you love me too. Touch it. He closed her hand around it. I know it sounds bad, but I wanted to touch it too. I didn't know what it meant, only that it made Daddy happy. I wanted to make him happy too. That's right, his voice rocked rhythm with his body. Oh yes, my Kaylee, my little flower, you love me.
How old are those girls?
This chronicles from the time they were about 9 all the way through adulthood, and kind of the same scenes as they go through that.
And these books are in school libraries. Kids
I
can
don't
pick it
know
up.
one school, kids, actually Identicals in middle schools too.
Middle school is what age?
Middle school, let's see, high school starts around 14, so middle school is anyway like 11, 12, 13, 14, depending on, yeah.
Incest. Mm-hmm. Not just, I want to say, not just sex, not just pornography, pervert.
But yeah, and again, you're picking up a book, not knowing, let's say you come from some trauma, or let's say you just make it through that chapter. What seeds are reading that, especially with the sister looking on going, again, these aren't adults who've lived life. These are young people reading it, and you're 14 and you're reading this, and you get to the part where it's like, oh, I wanted Daddy to love me that way too. What does that do to a kid going through puberty, confused about their body, confused about their feelings? All of that stuff is normal, but this is what we're pouring into them while they're going through all those questions that they have in life.
What this book is all about in the first place?
Well, it's this gal is a little bit crazy, but it's about the sexual abuse that in the incest that they go through. And finally, at the end, she realizes that was misplaced love of my dad, but it's an awfully thick book to, again, not appropriate for minors and not appropriate for anyone that doesn't want to read that stuff. I mean, it's ripping Band-Aids off girls who have been sexually molested, whether it's incest or not. And again, there's just no literary value to it, which is what the other side always says. Oh, well, some of these books have literary value. No, there's nothing in this book that a 14-year-old has to read that has real literary value.
It's not based on a real story. It's just a fiction book.
This is a fiction book, Ellen Hopkins, and she has a ton of them. And she obviously had a traumatic childhood because her books are Tricks, Crank, glorify drug use, that was mild, and it's funny because in the documentary they shut him down because he was using vulgarity. I knew the school district. They didn't know what to do when I read this because there wasn't one word that they could shut me down and say you can't say that word.
Correct.
I mean, we had planned it that way.
It got hard.
Yeah, because it wasn't vulgar, but it made you sick to your stomach.
Correct.
It always makes me sick to my stomach when I read that, and so it's just really interesting that they didn't know what to do with it. And the great thing is our website, one thing I was able, let me give you an example. Reno, Nevada. Nevada's turning red. This is in two middle schools and 10 high schools. Reno, Nevada.
Just in one town. I've been to
town.
Reno, Nevada. It's not a big town.
No. Not a big town and not a liberal town for being Nevada. Clark County's a little different, but not a liberal town at all. As a matter of fact, Very Purple helped kind of swing the state for Trump, was getting the vote out in every one of the rural counties and the counties that are not Las Vegas and holding Las Vegas. And so, two middle schools.
Let's go through other books because you've got lots of them.
Okay.
I just want for parents to realize that this is not one or two or even 10 books. It's like dozens and dozens of them.
Dozens and dozens. Okay, we'll just get this is let's see, The Perks of Being a Wallflower. This is sometimes assigned in freshman English. So I'll kind of caveat. They're in libraries, but they're also assigned in freshman English.
Assigned, it means you have to read it.
You have to read it.
Part of the program.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Do you know what masturbation is? I think you probably do because you are older than me, but just in case, I will tell you. Masturbation is when you rub your genitals until you have an orgasm. Wow. I thought that in these movies and television shows when they talk about having a coffee break that they should have a masturbation break. But then I think this would decrease productivity.
Once again, this is a fictional book.
Oh, they all are, with the exception of, I think, everything on our website. There is a book called, I believe it's A Stolen Life, which is J.C. Dugard, which she was kidnapped out of the Bay Area and held in this man's backyard for over 20 years with lots of sexual abuse.
But at least
so
it's
that's a real story,
true story,
it's very, and it's as bad as American Psycho. So it's not for children, but it is her story. Let's see. Oh, page 49. I asked my sister about this, and she said that Sam has low self-esteem. My sister also said that Sam had a reputation when she was a sophomore. Keep in mind, according to my sister, Sam used to be a blow queen. I hope you know what that means, because I really can't think about Sam and describe it to you.
Let's go. A blow queen. Nice term to learn in school.
Yeah. Now this one, Red Hood, and let me see, because for some reason this is not highlighted. So I'm gonna go on to where's Looking for Alaska. Let me do this one because this is in Newport, and this is often assigned in 9th grade English. So I'm gonna pull it. Looking for Alaska sounds innocent.
Yeah.
You would pick it up and go,
adventurous.
Oh, yes. And of course, it's got a little award on it, so of course it's good and approved.
Best-selling author.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, that's not this. Okay, I'm going to start with nothing. She got her boob honked over the summer. She walked over to me with her hand extended, and then a quick move downward. At the last moment, she pulled down my shorts. Don't grab my boob. And then we keep going. These are 14-year-olds. And she liked you and thought you were quietly discussing pre-cal when she was clearly talking about having hot sex with you, which is why you need me. She jumped onto him and wrapped her legs around him. God forbid anyone ever does that to me. I thought I'd fall over. I'd heard Alaska's a girl. I heard Alaska talk about kissing, but I'd never seen her kiss until then. And as he held her by her waist, she leaned forward, her pouty lips parted, her head just slightly tilted, and enveloped her mouth with such passion that I felt I should look away, but couldn't. A good while later, she untangled herself with Jake and introduced me. Did I tell you Jake is hung like a horse and beautiful, sensual lover? I mean, it's full of sexual relationship of these minor children, on and on. I'll end with this one on page 99, but as you can see, there's more to go. French, feel, finger, fuck. It's like you skipped 3rd grade, Alaska said.
An F word in the book.
Oh, these are full of F words. And you can't say them on campus most of the time.
Yeah, but you can read it.
Oh, you can read it. Can't wear a shirt that says it, but you can read. This is frequently assigned. This is a very common.
What's the
book to be
morale of
assigned.
this book? So what does this book tell you?
With almost all of these books, and nothing goes on our website that I've not thoroughly researched, because there's some legalities with the First Amendment, and I want to make sure that I am being truthful about everything, and that I'm not just crying wolf on a one-off book. So they all have the moral I get from them is having sex.
It's great.
And graphic sex. And a lot of the Ellen Hopkins happen to be about drugs. And there's a moral about it becoming addictive and becoming a monster. But it also helps them explore their sexuality. You know, they show a lot of what they would consider the positive of being on drugs. I mean, she has a book called Crank. A lot of her books are on that, and she goes.
Have you watched this movie from year 2000, Requiem for a Dream?
Yes, and that's one of the books in the schools.
There is even a book.
Yeah, it was a book.
So I watched that movie.
I love seeing your face on all of this.
I watched that movie when I was 12 to 13 years old. So this movie stopped me from even trying to even touch a drug, because I've seen everything that was shown over there. I was like, I'm done, I'm good, thank you.
Well, and these books, that's a side thing, but sex and having sex, how to have sex, how to explore is, let me see if this is on our site yet, is what these books are about. And you actually can go to our website, takebacktheclassroom.com, click on what's in our schools. You can get the states and the school, but at the top right, you will see what we call the bookshelf, and that is a list of all the different books. Red Hood. Let's see, where's Red Hood? These are remarkable. His kisses, tracing a path down your neck, his hands pulling low to the sweetheart necklace of your dress, his nose brushing your right nipple, and then a moment later, his lips capturing it, his tongue circling, his teeth skimming and biting, not hard, just enough to make your hands tighten into fists and clutch the blanket, enough to make your legs to begin to quiver.
What age?
Middle and high schools. I happen to have in here the Reno, and this in Reno was 7 schools.
In one town, in 7 schools.
But you can go look at your own town and see what's there. Oh, let's do. Sorry, don't get me talking about this stuff, and I don't mean it like that, but. This is what our kids are being given. Our tax dollars. So we're complicit. Not everyone can stop everything and do what I do. But that's why our organization exists, so we can help parents.
At least to know that this is happening.
To know. And it's up to us to get it removed. It's our tax dollars that are purchasing this. And we may be able to protect our own kid, but we can't protect the entire school culture that is being sexualized. And everyone has seen an increase in sexual abuse, sex on sex crimes at school, and especially if you start to pay attention, if you haven't already, the stories where the female teachers, the younger female teachers, are assaulting young, boys and girls. And it's because there's such a sexualized culture. And those kids, even if every Christian was to pull their kid out, which is never going to happen, we're still going to have, 80 to 90% of Christian kids in public school. The kids that are being sexualized, they are becoming our city councilmen, our attorneys, our doctors, our garbage man. They are being groomed, and they're being groomed with our tax dollars. So this is one.
What's the name of the book?
This is called All Boys Aren't Blue. I mean, it's so graphic. I want to be careful what I do read.
Go for it. This is in the book. You can't take the words out, right?
Yeah.
You're not the author.
I can't. All Boys Aren't Blue. This was interesting because in a committee hearing in Congress, this book was read by Senator Kennedy in Louisiana, and even the progressives that were against all this banning speech looked at the senator after he read a passage and said, "That made me really uncomfortable, you reading that." Well,
really?
My whole point is this is what we are talking about. I am not talking about Charlotte's Web. I'm not talking about the classics. I'm talking about pervasively vulgar sexual grooming in books that our tax dollars are paying for. Someone else can go buy them off Amazon
Correct.
if they want their kids to read them, but they don't need to use my tax dollars to sexually groom and desensitize an entire generation of kids, because this stuff starts in elementary school.
It has nothing to do with the First Amendment.
Oh, no. And
if you want, you can read it.
Oh, absolutely. And I don't even like to say the word banned books. I recently, on my Instagram, there's a story where I was in the Capitol in California just a couple months ago testifying to save girls in sports. And a gal had a Read Banned Books t-shirt on. And so I went up to her, and of course I had someone turn the camera on, and I said, "Oh, could you tell me what books I should read that are banned and how I can get them?" Well, you want to ban books? I said, "Well, no, I don't, but how can I read it if it's banned? Like, where can I get it? Can you name a book I can't get off Amazon?" Well, you want to ban books? Okay, but can you tell me one that I can't get off Amazon right now if I was to go Google it?
Because there are none.
Yeah, she said, "I am going to be done talking to you. I'm going to politely walk away." And I'm like, "Hey,
No arguments.
Yeah, you're the one wearing the Read band. You're making a statement. I'm just responding to it. I mean, if I wear a statement T-shirt, and sometimes I wear my Stop Porn in Schools, I'm ready to defend what I mean by wearing a statement."
Yeah.
I mean, she's saying something, but does she really know what she's saying?
No.
Because no.
No.
Okay, here we go.
So it says a memoir manifesto.
Yes.
So it's a real story.
Yes.
Kinda.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know what all
Okay.
what all is true or not. Yeah, but page 201. Yeah, but I laughed and said, "Get your hand off my butt." You giggled. "That's not my hand." "You're lying," I said, then placed both hands on my hips as we lay side by side. There was still something poking me. You were fully erect at this point. I was nervous. "We gonna get in trouble?" "You can't tell anybody, okay? You promise that you're not gonna tell anyone?" "I promise." And then he grabbed my hand and made me touch it. It was the first time I'd ever touched a penis that wasn't my own. I knew what was happening. I knew what was happening wasn't supposed to happen. Cousins aren't supposed to do things with cousins, but my body didn't react that way. My body on the inside was doing something too.
Cousins?
Cousins.
So there is an excerpt on your website, which is another one. He asked me to turn over while he slipped a condom on himself, but this was my ass, and I was struggling to imagine someone inside me, and he was large. I had previously topped someone who clearly enjoyed it, but he had been enjoying anal sex before I ever came along. He got on top and slowly inserted himself into me. He then added more lubricant and tried again. I didn't stay long, nor did I masturbate after. What age? Middle school?
Some middle schools and high schools. But high school starts at 14.
Cause it's not just okay. So, sex, which is pornography, right? Heterosexual sex, then homosexual sex, incest, and now it's even cousins, relatives having sex with each other.
And he's basically saying, "Hey, I never did it before. I wasn't supposed to, but boy, my body was loving it." And
it's like maybe the reader that reads, maybe I'm the one that will feel this as well.
Yeah, I want to feel that too.
Yeah, because the author didn't know he liked it before he tried it. Maybe I should too, right?
Yeah.
Why not?
And again, then you go on and on and on, and he's talking about how great it all is. Yeah. And I mean, I think you have one son, young. I've had 4 kids, lots of cousins. When they're about 5 or 6, the little girls always like the older boy cousins that'll play soccer with them or, hang out. That's really natural to be like, oh, I really like Cousin Sam, or... Don't be putting these ideas in their heads.
Correct.
This is grooming to them. It is a really normal thing to have a crush on a cousin or a neighbor boy that's older. That's really normal for young kids.
And it doesn't last long.
No, it doesn't, because you grow up and you start to realize he's that isn't appropriate.
But if you plant the seed,
unless you're
that
planting
this is normal.
And if you're a groomer, an abuser, what do you think you're reading to these kids to draw them into you? Even younger than 14.
Let's continue.
Oh, gosh. Okay, no, I'm loving this. Again, go to our website. This one is in a lot of schools, and not a lot of people know Freedom Writer's Diary.
I love your website.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's really amazing.
Yeah, we have worked hard. Let me see. Now that you're finding even more salacious ones. When you look on our site, I want to make sure I get the good ones.
I presume she must have been.
Okay. You go.
You go. I go. Okay. I presume she must have been given specific instructions, because while we sizzled, she kneeled in front of David O'Neill, a popular junior boy. I couldn't make out exactly what was happening, but he was holding something in front of him that looked like a bottle, and I think she was crying. Then her head started moving back and forth. And as a crowd of rowdy boys gathered around them, she started to go help her. I was pushed back to the ground as a voice screamed, "Where do you think you're going, whore? Did I say you could get up?" It was one of the members.
Yeah, simulating a blowjob.
Correct.
Just
What
throwing
age?
it out there. I mean, I'm used to this, and so I knew that. So I just wanted to make sure everyone else did.
Once again, what age?
I mean, 14 and up. Actually, this book I have found in some elementary school libraries across the country. So it's in middle schools, high schools mainly, but I have found it in elementary schools. Meet Earl and the Dying Girl. Let's go there.
One moment. So this book says how a teacher and 150 teens used writing to change themselves and the world around them. How does a blowjob changes the world?
Well, don't ask me. I'm not the writer of it.
Maybe we should ask Bill Clinton.
That's.
And it says New York Times bestseller.
Oh, they all are. Yes. Let me see.
Who buys those books?
Our librarians. Books in schools are purchased by the librarian, and they basically are given a budget, and they're the ones picking it, and they're listening to the American Library Association tell them what they should purchase, and they're purchasing them. And you can see it on our website specifically. Go to your own school, see it, and take a look at what is in your own school.
How do you become a best-selling author in America? It's like, for instance, it's selling 100 books, and if you, that month or that period of time your book is in top 10, you're becoming one of those bestsellers?
Yeah, you become one of the best sellers, or a lot of these, this series, the newest one just came out, A Court of Mist and Fury, and they're all bright. Let me see if I've got another one here.
I might have seen those in Costco.
Yes, and the airports. They're everywhere in the airports. And adult women, I did see an adult man reading it, they're everywhere. So again, these are adults, but here's what the back of the book says. So any librarian that orders this for, again, I say 14-year-olds because if you're a high school, 9th through 12th graders are having access to this book. Mm-hmm. And some of these are found in middle schools. Again, not as common, but I have not seen a school district that does not have at least one, if not the whole series of Sarah J. Maas. Here's the back of it. So, about how great it is. Masterful storytelling from a #1 New York Times bestselling author, Sarah J. Maas, brings her sexy, action-packed series to new heights. Praise for The Court of Thorns and Roses. Passionate, violent, sexy, and daring from USA Today.
Violent? Okay. So if it's violent, it's great.
Hits the spot for fans of dark, lush sex fantasy.
Okay.
Now that alone should prohibit it from minors.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay, Meet Earl and the Dying Girl, now a major motion picture. Woohoo! So this one is one that is in a lot of the schools. Are you pulling it up? Correct. So I'm going to go, I don't know what we put on our website, but...
Now a major motion picture.
Yeah, isn't that great?
Awesome.
That means it's okay. Page 59, are you going to eat her pussy?
Yeah, Earl, I'm going to eat her pussy. Yeah, do you even know how to eat pussy?
Yep. I'm on a pussy deadline if you continue. You've got 20 vaginas all lined up in a row. Oh, hell. What the hell? No one's talking about vaginas. What the hell is wrong with you? And this stuff continues. This is often one of the books that is on a list to pick for 9th grade English. Page 206. So you can be heterosexual or homosexual, and I feel like I understand that. Like you're a woman in a man's body or some shit, but I've been thinking about it, and how the fuck can somebody call themselves bisexual? Greg says, ugh. Earl, man, ain't nobody like that fine-ass girl is making me hard right now. Oh, wait, my mistake. That dude over there is the one that's making me hard. That don't make no goddamn sense.
It says a novel. That's a novel.
Yeah.
It's almost like a classic.
Yeah. The book that inspired the film. Destined not only to connect with young audiences in a big way, but also endure as a touchstone for its generation.
A touchstone for its generation. Oh, really? Yeah. So in 100 years, people are going to read this book. It's like it's a masterpiece.
Yeah. About eating
Shakespeare.
Yeah, I mean... I'm telling you that I used to poo-poo the moms that would do this until I saw, and we'll do a few more of these, and then I'd like to share some of the elementary school things, and because this stuff is going on from the time they're in kindergarten. So by the time, an example I like to use, we used to, in our kids, when they were growing up, when they got older, they wanted to get on MySpace, and then it was Facebook. Now, young girls.
Onlyfans?
And they're hammering because they cannot wait to get 18 and start their own OnlyFans because...
This is so cool.
Yeah, because they've been so desensitized and been taught to exploit your sexuality and the body God gave you, and there's a worldview that you're sexual from the moment you're born, and so it's yours to express, and it's just the parents and those, I hear this a lot, pearl clutching Christians that want to stop you from it. Oh, I love when I testify at a state capitol to wear pearls and pink because I like to look like a church lady. So it shocks them when, as it should, stuff comes out of my mouth. And it should offend you. And if your viewers are offended by what I've read, I warned you, number one. But number two, don't be offended at me. Be offended that your school district bought this book and is giving it to minors. Take that anger, that uncomfortable feeling you have because I'm reading this out loud, and channel it to the people who are feeding this to our minor children with our tax dollars. And so I don't like doing this. As a matter of fact, there are people on my own staff that can't do some of the stuff with the books because of their sexual trauma, and they emotionally cannot do it. I understand the receiving end when you're not expecting to hear this. And for whatever reason, I know this is going to sound very strange to other Christians, but God has given me this as a calling and a purpose.
100%.
And I have a whole team praying for me because it is a very, very dark. You see this, and if I'm highlighting books throughout the day, you can see how I'm going from eat your pussy.
This is horrendous. This is the most horrible.
And I think we've got about 320 books on our website. Not one book gets on there without me going through it.
Let's go a few more and then we're going to continue.
Okay, let's go with The Lovely Bones. This is frequently...
There's a movie, right?
Oh, probably is.
It's about a pedophile kidnapping a kid?
Stunning achievement. A triumphant novel. It's a knockout. This one is frequently used in public schools. And let me see if they do a description. Well, you can see our website. We actually start with the description the way Amazon tells it, and then you can compare it to the excerpts as to, and I'm not sure if The Lovely Bones is up there yet or not, but okay, here we go. We'll just start here on page 11.
Right away.
After this, he said, "You're very pretty, Susie." "Thanks," I said, even though he gave me what my friend Clarissa had dubbed the skeevies. "Do you have a boyfriend?" "No, Mr. Harvey." I said. I swallowed the rest of my Coke, which was a lot, and said, "I gotta go, Mr. Harvey. This is a cool place, but I have to go." He stood up, did his hunchback number by the 6 dug-in steps that led into the world. I don't know. Actually, this doesn't even make sense to me. "I don't know why you think you're leaving." I talked so that I would not have to take in this knowledge. Mr. Harvey was no character. He made me feel skivvy and icky, and now he was blocking the door. "Mr. Harvey, I really do have to get home." "Take off your clothes." "What?" Take your clothes off," Mr. Harvey said. "I want to check that you're still a virgin." "I am, Mr. Harvey," I said. "I want to make sure your parents will thank me." "My parents? They only want good girls," he said. "Mr. Harvey," I said, "please let me leave now." "You aren't leaving, Susie. You're mine now." I fought hard. I fought as hard as I could to not let Mr. Harvey hurt me. But my hard as I could was not hard enough, not even close. And I was soon lying down on the ground, in the ground with him on top of me, panting and sweating, having lost his glasses in the struggle.
So excerpt that you have on the website is, "My father was the kind of dad who kept a nude photo of you when you were 3
Yeah.
in the downstairs bathroom. The one that guests would use."
14-year-olds are being assigned this in school. This one is another very, very common one. Because building our website, and we've searched all 50 states, we can see the books that are most popular in the schools, that maybe there's, 8,000 of them across the U.S. And that shifts a little bit every time we do a new state or school district, or like right now we're working on Clark County, Nevada, which is the 5th largest school district in the country, but they password protect everything, so even parents can't go in and look unless they get their child's password.
I wonder why.
Yeah. So we only have 3 schools, but we're working on that one. So things change as the data comes in. But Lovely Bones, Looking for Alaska, let's see, Looking for Alaska. There's a few more that are frequently, Speak. Okay, Speak is one that is frequent.
You know how they say that when a kid is, I want to say 2 to 3 years old or 1 to 2 years old, he kind of touches the world and he wants to find out whether the world is safe, right? So what kind of world does he live in? It depicts his future. So if 14 years olds read these books, they kind of realize that the world is mad and it's not safe.
Or I think we were all gaslit, and then I think when Trump won, I woke up and I said, see, I knew everyone was normal and believed like I did about, boys in girls sports and all of that. So this also gets them questioning the way they are raised, because all of this stuff is acceptable and everyone's doing it. And that leads me to another book turned movie. What I want to share about this is, I think, 25 years old, 25th, this is the 25th anniversary edition. And it's been made into a movie. It is often Clarksville, Tennessee. I have a staff gal that works for me from Clarksville. She's in her late 20s, early 30s. She said that this book was the book when she was in high school in Clarksville, Tennessee. That was the book that everyone wanted to go check out. So after somebody checked it out, this was, if she's 31, this was 15 years ago.
15 years ago.
Yeah. Everybody was checking out.
Obama era.
Yeah. Oh, I often say this is my favorite just because I think it's just so weird. White cunt box got my file on her desk. I see it. I ain't that late to lunch. She looked at me like I said I want to suck a dog's dick or some shit. Daddy put his pee-pee smelling thing in my mouth.
What?
Daddy put his pee-pee smelling thing in my mouth, my pussy, but never hold me. Then she say, thank you, Ms. Clarice, Precious Jones, for fucking my husband, you nasty little slut. I feel like I'm gonna die. Can't breathe from here. Fat cunt bucket slut. He done quit me. He done left me because of you. This just goes.
And this is called literature. So 200 years ago, literature was, it's hard to read right now the classics, right? Because the language is so different. And now you say just shit. This is the words that you use when you write books? Shit? Fuck?
Bucket,
pussy?
Slut, whatever.
Slut? Whore?
Yeah. Throughout it.
So in 100 years, the whole English language is going to be changed. We're not going to recognize the language.
Again, you look at the sexual assaults that are going on in school and the fights and the teachers, the young female teachers that are sexually abusing the students. You've got to ask yourselves, is this what they were reading? And is this what they're reading in the culture that we are cultivating in our own schools? And again, this isn't even the curriculum, but it is what our tax dollars are paying for. And what one thing that we found in building the website, library books are done differently than books that are in curriculum, and they're governed different by state law. All of it's done very differently. And we were finding that several school districts with this one, with Speak, the Lovely Bones, there might be 45 copies in a library.
45 copies?
So what that tells me...
Huge demand.
Well, it tells me that what has happened is that they used to assign books. Like when my kids were in school, they would assign a book and send a list home, and say they can pick from these 5 books, and these books are on there. And I remember Granite Bay High School in California, and our freshmen brought stuff home, and All I remember is one of the books, they were all terrible. One of them said, a parent might object because, and it said graphic rape scene. And I was like, well, then why is this even on here? And I picked the book, you know, what research I could. Internet was still a little bit new then, and picked a book for him. That's how things used to go. And that often you'd have to go out and purchase the book for them, especially if it's an AP English class. Well, now that parents and this whole book thing, parents are awake after COVID, what they're doing is having the librarian purchase them. So instead of having to send a note home, you let the kid pick the book, you walk down the hall to the library, and you grab the book. That's what they're doing to cut the parent out of these graphic books in freshman English class. And I'm just going to tell you, 2 years ago, Clarksville, Tennessee, freshman English class, with a principal at the school that professed to be a Christian. Their last assignment, and this was an honors English, so 14-year-olds, the fourth quarter, the assignment was to read a banned book. And then write a piece.
Banned book,
yeah,
quote unquote.
Write a piece. And so they had the list. So the list had a lot of these. They had it on the list, and they said, you know, the instructions actually said to go through these books to pick one. So go look at them so you can pick one, and then go ahead and do your report on it. Now, we uncovered it. We exposed it. But it had, let's go to the bluest eye. It had the bluest eye on it. Didn't have really any of the classics, but let's go to the bluest eye, because I don't have that one with me, but this is a common one.
Winner of the Nobel Prize, Toni Morrison.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. I was telling someone, and they were like, oh, no, not my beloved Toni Morrison. Again, I'm talking about minor children. Well, do you want to read the first part? And I'll go to the other excerpts. How's that?
He showed his privates at you? No, he touched me. Where? Here and there. She pointed to the tiny breast that, like two fallen acorns, scattered a few faded rose leaves on her dress. Really? How did it feel? I didn't feel like anything, but it wasn't supposed to. Feel good? I mean, Frida sucked her teeth. What did he do? Just walk up and pinch them? She sighed. First, he said how pretty it was. Then he grabbed my arm and touched me.
In his mind, with cleanliness, he was what one might call a clean old man. Page 181. The little girls are the only thing I miss. Do you know that when I touched their sturdy little tits a bit, just a little, I felt I was being friendly. I didn't want to kiss their mouths or sleep in the bed with them or take a child bride for my own. Playful, I felt, and friendly. And then it goes on about two of them, and then it says, I did what you did not, could not, would not do. I looked at that little girl and I loved her. I played you, and it was a very good show. That's a common one that's assigned in 9th grade English. I don't have it here, but The Fault in Our Stars is another one. And again, we're updating our website. We are adding excerpts. We understand, I think I brought the haters. Do I see the haters here? Yeah, I do. It's a little different on our website. So we'll read from the haters. This is a new one that's really, really, oh, there's The Fault in Our Stars. The haters is one that is another award-winning one. Let me see, because it's gotten an award since the one I bought. Oh, it's from the author of Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl, the Eat Pussy one. Sorry.
Jesse Andrews. It's he or she?
That is a really good question.
Let me Google it. Jesse Andrews, author.
Maybe it's a they.
It's a he. Well, it depends.
Yeah, totally.
It's a he.
It's a groomer for sure, I can tell you that. Excerpt. It was definitely my boner. No one was awake to stare in disgust at the lurky jailbreak of my sleep boner. Still had the boner, masturbated in a brisk, businesslike manner into the sink with the hotel conditioner.
Jesse Andrews is an American novelist and screenwriter. He co-wrote the screenplay for the Pixar film Luca, the animated movie that was like 2 years ago, and wrote both the novel and the feature film adaptation of Me and Earl and the Dying Girl. This is the guy they hired to write a screenplay for an animated movie for kids?
Well, yeah, you've seen Sesame Street's gone woke and liberal, and yeah. This stuff has become mainstream for our minor children. There is a huge effort to sexualize our kids from birth. Okay, you're in charge of the interview, but can I take you to the big bathhouse?
Yes, look, one moment. Flop in the box office. I want to say this movie flopped in the box office because it had a backlash because of the screenplay, I want to say.
Oh, I bet
Yes.
it was.
Did not perform well at the box office, but labeling it a flop requires content. So the budget was... Where's the budget? Worldwide, it grossed 500 million, but the movie cost like 200 million, so it's a break even. Mm-hmm. So it's not a flop, but it's not good for a studio. Let's go where you wanted to take me.
Okay, go to the big bathhouse. This is in elementary schools everywhere. And so it's not the language. So you're going to need to look at for whatever reason, I didn't have it with me today. So go ahead and click at the bottom where it says view excerpts.
Yes.
Because we have the pictures.
Yes.
So this is a book, and we believe it should be removed from elementary schools and the library in elementary. And even the very first page we have there. The left says this is necessary because it's about Asian culture.
Correct.
And that you're a hater if you don't like it.
Racist.
Yes. But what I see as an American, I don't go to bathhouses, nor do my kids. But if I'm looking at a picture book in the kindergarten class at 5, what I'm seeing is a bunch of adults. I can't even necessarily tell that they're women with a bunch of naked kids in a pool. And it continues.
What the...
So the message I'm getting, if I'm 5, 6, 7, 8, 9...
So they want to tell me that this is the Japanese culture. I believe that's insulting to Japanese. Any Japanese watching this video, comment below.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't come home from school and go, oh, hey, Mom, did you know the generations of mothers and grandmothers and daughters? Again, very popular one. So again, if you're having this in the elementary schools and then the middle and high school, I mean, it's a repeated theme. Now, this is a new one that we're getting on our site. Sex is a funny word. Let me see if we have the excerpts. I really can't even tell. We just went live, and as you can see, we have 300 books. There's just a lot of information on here.
You've got one. Like other holes in our body, the anus is usually very sensitive, which means it can feel good to touch, but can also hurt if we are rough with it. Elementary school?
And middle.
It can feel good to touch.
This is a problem. They are after our kids, and we're allowing it. And so that's... And as you'll notice, with the exception of All Boys Aren't Blue, I didn't pick LGBTQ books.
Correct, none.
None. Now, the media would make you think that that's all we care about, and that's all we're trying to fight.
Homophobic.
And, oh yes, and from American Psycho to Push to all of these, none of it is LGBTQ. So there are some.
By the way, in regards to American Psycho, do you know that this movie was made, I want to say, early 2000? And this book is now, it's called like a classic.
Oh, yeah.
Memes,
total
pictures,
classic.
it's so cool.
Okay. Let's go to a middle school one, The Art of Racing in the Rain, and then I'm going to go to...
The Art of Racing in the... Oh, I know this book. I've seen the movie.
Wouldn't you want to read it to your son? Look, the sweet puppy.
If this is the one that I saw the movie was great.
Again, books are different
Than the movies.
than they're made into a movie. They fell onto the bed and he mounted her and she said, "The field is fertile, beware." And he said, "I embrace the fertility." And he plowed the field until it grasped the sheets in its fists, arched its back, and cried out with joy. How would a parent know that this can be sitting there? They're
Correct.
thinking, "Oh, the art of racing in the rain. We love dogs. And this looks like our dog." Elementary schools all over.
And feel like if you take away this excerpt, nothing's going to change. The book is going to be relevant.
And
They just add it. What?
yes, and so what we do, when you first click on the book, you see the excerpt that you've been reading or I've been reading, but then you can click on
View and download.
more excerpts and see more and more. Elementary school. What redeeming value does this have?
Page 72. The smell would have given me an erection if I'd still had testicles.
That's why when I met you, yes, I'm the queen of porn, but it's only to protect our children.